Contrary to popular belief, there is nobility in sometimes waving the white flag. If you decide that you want to change roles on something, you're going a certain direction in life, and maybe what could look like to outside people giving up is just you trying something new, trying something different, and going in a different direction, that's totally fine. I feel like in life, a lot of times people will try to lord it over you if you make a decision. I don't know, if you're doing something like in school and you have one major and you decide, oh, that major is not for me, and you go and you do a different major, some people will be like, oh, look, you quit, you gave up before you even finished. And that's not necessarily the case. You could have just found out from doing the initial thing that you didn't actually have like an interest in it, your heart wasn't in it, your love wasn't in it. And it's totally fine if you try something new.
I agree with that a lot. I have noticed a lot of friends and family members, a constant negative attitude towards people that are switching majors. They down them for that. But I think there is a lot of nobility, because obviously since there is that negative perception of it, it's hard enough to even make that decision to switch up. But they're also just following their heart, it seems like. And I think that's the way that you're gonna have the most success, is when you're following what's your compass is pointing towards, your internal compass.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna try your hardest in it, you're gonna be the most passionate about it, and you're gonna be able to go the longest at the things you care about the most.
Yeah, you gotta do what's true to you. I'll give you guys an example, actually. That was a great example. I remember I moved to LA, where we're currently at. We live in Los Angeles. I moved to LA when I was 18 years old, and I actually lived in New York City prior to that. And when I was in New York, I was mainly a photographer. That was my main thing that everybody knew me for. My Instagram was all photography. I shot for like a lot of big like rap and hip hop artists. And from doing that, I realized that I got really good at photography, but I knew that I didn't want to do it for the rest of my life. I didn't want it to be like my main creative pursuit. And again, that's like one thing that's like been our calling, whatever, like just having like just being in different forms of creativity. So when I moved out to LA, I made a decision to put down the camera and totally reinvent myself. What I really actually wanted to do was become a musician. I wanted to be the people that I was taking photos of. I wanted to be the person behind the, in front of the camera, having photos taken of him. I wanted to be able to sing and make music and make melodies and do cover arts and do all that stuff. So when I did it, a lot of people were like, well, didn't you used to be a photographer? And I remember a lot of people tried to almost like condemn me.
Pigeonhole you.
Yeah, pigeonhole me and confine me just to, well, you did this before and this is what we knew you as, so you can't change, you can't make music. Like, why are you trying to switch up now? Yeah, it's like, it's basically something I had to like work through, and there was a lot of baggage of people trying to put that on me of like, no, you can't change, no, you can't do something new. So they'll try to do that for you, but basically just go to what Tanner was saying, go to what your heart is telling you to do, because you'll end up in the best results. And if you don't, you might continue along the original path, but then you'll start to develop feelings of resentment to what you're doing. Since you're not passionate about it, like Tanner said, you won't actually be putting your all towards it. So
half-assing all of your work and just doing it just to do it, not doing it because of a love, and you're gonna get half-assed result if you're not fully in it.
And you'll probably burn out too.
Yes, 100%. I do want to speak about what you said when you wanted to transition from photographer to musician. Mm-hmm. I think, well, there's two things I'm thinking of now. The first one, I want to tell you so I don't forget about blinders. I had blinders on when I considered myself one thing, and I blocked myself out. But the first idea is...
That's actually a good one. It's like when you were talking about how you, when you were like goofy as a kid and you started doing Tommy Noble, you know?
Yo, so that's the thing. So I moved out to LA. I moved out to LA as a musician in 2020, and I was going at that really hard, and I had considered myself a musician for so long, and so I didn't have my eyes open to other opportunities. I had these blinders up as to what was possible for me and what I saw for myself in my future, and I believe I was cutting out a lot of opportunities from the universe, just in general, even working towards other strengths that I had, because I consider myself solely a musician. And so I wasn't accepting offers as a model or as a writer or as a photographer anymore. I was cutting myself off. And also, when I opened up the first venture that I had outside of music was going into skits. I started filming skits as an alias Tommy Noble. And within a year, I have seen so much success from that. Just doing that, being able to open myself up to other avenues other than music has rounded me out as a person, but also I've seen now success being able to be light on my feet and switch paths a little bit more. I still love making music, and I still want, like, that's my main passion, but I didn't realize that it was okay to switch paths until I had done that.
Bro, yeah.
And it taught me a lot through the journey of making skits, of being consistent. I think in order to find success, you have to be consistent in your work. And that's probably like the biggest lesson I've learned.
Yeah, no, 100%. Also, I feel like what I got from what you were saying is that you also recognize that, like, when you switch paths sometimes, you develop a flow. Like, you can be in your skit bag, and then you could just switch over to, like, being in your musician bag, and then, like, we're both YouTubers, we'll get into, like, our YouTuber bag.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, it's weird, but the more you do it, the more you kind of, like, get into, like, the dance of, like, okay, well, I can switch from these things, whereas, like, one person might be like, okay, well, I have to do this thing 100%, go all in, and that works for some people. But I feel like for, like, creative people like us, especially, who want to do so many different creative things, like, it almost like fulfills, and like it almost fulfills a little bit more to be able to be like, okay, I'm gonna switch from this to this to this to this, and you're not half-assing anything, you're doing everything 100%, but you just have like a good flow of like, okay, how can I switch from this to do this to do this to do this, and then it all works. It's like in when you have like a symphony, when you have like an orchestra, and there's like the strings, and there's the flutes and the horns and all that stuff, and they're all doing different things, but it comes together in like this beautiful melody. So
Makes this beautiful ball of sound. They're playing off of each other.
Yeah.
And I think it is. It's like once you got to find your way to get into your bag. And then once you're in your bag in every aspect. You find your bag in the skits or whatever, and then you're able to be in your bag when you're making music, but you're just able to really connect and like see who you are individually. But also within that too, I like what you said about the flow. Yeah, you just get into that flow state and be able to being able to find the flow state in one thing, you're able to understand how that can apply to all different types of life, whether it's like you're in your flow state for self-care, you're in your flow state for creativity, you're in your flow state for work, you're able to tap into that and get into that in every aspect of your life.
Yeah, 100%. So, hey, if you guys feel like this is the case for you, and that sometimes when you try to switch things, changing paths doesn't mean that you're giving up. If you feel like people try to constrict you to it, comment down below, because I do want to hear what you guys' thoughts were. Thank you for watching today's video. This is my friend Tanner, by the way. If you like today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notification bells.
Ring that bell.
Yeah, because we post videos every day, and check out Tanner's Table. I might keep that in there. Check out Tanner's channel as I can't talk. Check out
my channel, Tommy Noble III.
I'm gonna link it in the description. I love you guys, and we'll speak very soon.
Much love. Peace, y'all.